welcome on, and welcome back to another episode of the Direct Podcast. Everything you need to know about the universes you love. I'm your host, Matt Roembke, and I'm joined as always by my friend, co-host, box office correspondent, senior editor at thedirect.com, Mr. David Thompson. David, how are you?
I'm doing great. It's Superman's world, and I'm just living in it. I've now seen the
Sure.
movie 3 times, and I am just so stoked on it still, and so excited to be here, man. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, and man, less than 2 weeks away from Fantastic Four. Like we're doing the July thing. I can't believe it's really here. We're actively in it. It's an exciting time.
We're in it. It's almost over, man.
I know. We have one
It's
more,
almost
right?
over. It's come and gone. It has come and gone. Like you said, Superman's world, we're all just living in. We have a few news stories today that we will get to, but first I wanted to thank everybody listening for following us along on our new reboot of the Direct Podcast, new feed, same show, but we're very excited to have everybody here, old listeners, new listeners, everybody who was able to find us through social, through our articles online, through our personal Twitter, the Direct social media accounts, or even word of mouth. You know, that's one of our biggest things. Be a friend, tell a friend. If you have a friend who likes box office blockbuster movie news, hit him up with the Direct Podcast. Everything you need to know about the universes you love. With that, like David mentioned, we are in the midst of July, one of the biggest months of movies since we started doing this podcast. And Fantastic Four is next. We're coming off the heels of Superman. We're going to talk about Superman a little bit today. We're going to do a big cleanup episode later this week. Within it's Fantastic Four time. So, with that, we will be doing a special Fantastic Four giveaway contest. It's very simple. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars, and you leave a review. Screenshot that and send it to us. You'll be entered for a chance to win 2 free tickets to Fantastic Four. Very exciting. We love to help somebody get there and see this big movie that we're all very excited about. The rules are very simple. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts, take a screenshot, send it either to me at Matt Roembke, Roembke, on Twitter, or David Thompson at David Thompson with 2 A's, DAABID Thompson, or the MCU Direct Twitter page, or Instagram page for that matter. And send that screenshot. You'll be entered for a chance to win 2 free tickets to Fantastic Four. If you do not have Apple Podcast, you are not left alone. You can't leave a review on Spotify. So your little extra homework assignment will be leave us a 5-star review on Spotify. Show us that you are subscribed to the show. Also, go over to the YouTube. You know, it's a website. Maybe you've heard of it. Go over to the YouTube, to the Direct Extras YouTube page, subscribe there as well. Send us both those screenshots. You'll also be entered for a chance to win Apple Podcast reviews, 5 stars and a comment review. Spotify, YouTube, subscribe, send it to us. Somebody will be going to Fantastic Four on the Direct Podcast dime, and we're very excited to do that. More information will be coming out here in the next couple of days, but wanted to give everybody listening their first shot to send those in. Thank you all very much. Now, all that being said, let's dive into it. Everything you need to know about the universes you love. All right, David, our top story of the week comes from the DC universe. Of course, it is Superman, the movie that has swept the nation, I would say. Everyone's talking about it.
That's right.
And we have the box office numbers ready to look over. Are you excited to see where these numbers landed here on Monday?
Oh, can't wait. Let me know. I don't know yet. This is my first time hearing.
It's going to be really fun. Domestic opening for Superman, which is our big number we talk about here on the Direct Podcast. Domestic opening for Superman has come in at a healthy $122 million. Now, David, you called David Cornsweat 3 years ago, swish. James Gunn's my favorite comic book movie director, swish. We're winning already with this movie. We talked about it during our review. It feels like this podcast has won a little bit with this one. We're going to keep on winning here, but because 122 million domestic open, David's prediction on our What's in the Box segment last week, 120 million, right in range, crushed it, nailed it, 100%. Well done. Well done to you, sir. How does it feel? You nailed it. You absolutely nailed it.
It feels good. I mean, 120 made sense, still makes sense. I mean, like honestly, I probably we did that before I saw the movie, and I probably would have raised it after seeing it, but like I'm happy I didn't, because that was the
Yeah.
more, I would say, objective David last Monday prior to seeing the film and like prior to living in the hype. And like 120 makes a lot of sense quickly. Like people, I mean, people were worried this could open to less than 100. Like that quickly became a thought of the past. And by the way, I'm thinking it might end up actually more around like 124. Hopefully today the actuals will come out. Like, the Sundays are always like estimates, but they're incredibly accurate estimates. But you always hope those Sunday numbers are a little bit more juiced. I went back on Sunday, so I'm hoping this thing will land ultimately around 124, but we'll see. A big win for us. Taking the
Yeah.
over was a smart idea. The 120 was a good range, and it all makes sense, man. I think that's an appropriate number, and I think that adds up. I saw the demos were mainly over 25 and mainly male. So, hopefully this diversifies a little bit in future weekends, but we'll see.
It checks out. That checks out. Action movies, comic book movies, all that stuff. Plus everybody's watching Love Island for God's sake.
True.
120 million prediction by you, 122 lands, perfect. I took the over. I won. We all win. Everybody wins. We just keep winning. Look at us. 122 domestic, 217 currently on global numbers.
Yeah.
Which again, very healthy. It's a good number. This thing's got another week of legs to run on before the mouse takes over, right?
That's right.
Which that's what this movie always had in front of it. It's got Fantastic Four right around the corner, but we're gonna get to a good number before F4 comes out.
I will say, I don't think Jurassic World played into these numbers at all, which is a positive. I think the fact that F1 had most of the PLF screens, IMAX especially, was like the big thing
Yeah,
where Jurassic World skipped IMAX, and then Warner Brothers kind of just passed the baton from F1 to Superman a few weeks later, and I think that worked out really well for it.
yeah,
So it will be fascinating to see, like, I mean, second weekend, of course, huge. Like that's going to be an exciting news story in a week. Because hopefully it doesn't drop so much, and I think it has a really good chance of holding really, really well and making this actually like a big box office win. Um, but third weekend, once Fantastic Four takes over, opens up huge, will be number one. That I'm really excited to see, like how Superman does as well, just to be like, okay, how much staying power really is there? And honestly, like it had great staying power this weekend. Internationally, really quick, China was like a zero. It had like no opening in China. So that's unfortunate. You can kind of just like rule that out. In the UK, and we have listeners over in the UK, let us know. Apparently there was like some huge like heat wave happening and people did not go out to theaters
damn,
in those areas as much, and that affected it. So that what that could mean though is that we're gonna get a second wind boost from international numbers theoretically coming up this week and next weekend, which is exciting. There's a lot of like different parts that lay into this. In like South America, this movie is supposed to be like one of the biggest movies of the year, which is also pretty cool. And yeah, like to me, I would say the global opening isn't quite as impressive as the domestic opening. No, basically no China. The China numbers were 6.6 million. Like I said, basically a zero. It's going to be fascinating to see, and I want to do some comparisons like you have here in a second as well of like where we're at right now in terms of opening, and then also like where we think it could land ultimately.
yeah. It's just one of those things where even if and when it does open in China, Superman's a largely American idea, I
Exactly.
guess. That it's the same reason Captain America doesn't play well overseas is in the same way.
And it's an
Except we're
American
American.
movie,
Yeah. Now,
to a certain extent. To a certain extent.
there's debate online if you haven't seen it yet, David.
No, I haven't seen it, but
200,
keep it away.
217 million global. It is the second highest opening for a James Gunn movie. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 opened 146 million. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Highest solo Superman movie opening, beating out Man of Steel's 116. But Batman vs Superman, which technically is a sequel um to Superman. 166 million. That's not going to be touched by a DC movie for a little while, I'd have to
Hmm.
imagine. And the second highest comic book movie opening since 2024, Deadpool and Wolverine's 211, obviously is untouched there. All in all, successful opening weekend for Superman. On top of just the box office of it all, the word of mouth has been outstanding. Um,
Yeah.
the people who don't love this movie, they exist for sure. Um, a lot of them are, the Restore the Snyderverse people, which, they were never going to like it anyway. So you kind of rule that out. Um, but, there's definitely people who don't like it, but largely every outlet, every influencer, every movie Twitter follow that you can find, it's all pretty positive. And even the negative ones shout out that there are some incredible moments in this movie. So, all in all, excellent performance from Superman here in this opening weekend.
Yeah, it's by the way, Rotten Tomatoes update from our review. By the way, check out our review if you haven't already. We go spoiler free and then full spoiler deep dive. Check that out. Posted it last week on this feed. Rotten Tomatoes, we talked about it then. It's updated to 83% critic, 93% audience. That seems about right to me. Critic score I think could be a little bit higher, but I love this movie. And generally, I think this movie is loved. I took one of my best friends to see it last night, and he's admittedly not the biggest like comic book movie fan, at least as of late, that is. But I took him to see the screening for Brave New World back in February. He walked out of the movie being like, "Man, that was really good. I really like that Captain America movie. Like that was good." And I was kind of on, we had that review up as well. Like, I shared my thoughts, and but I'm the one, of course. I watch everything. I'm caught up on everything comic book movie, and he wasn't. And it was so funny after watching Superman yesterday. Just anecdotally, he's like, "Yeah, that Captain America movie wasn't that good, right?" Because he's like, "Oh, that was he like walked out of Superman like that was a really good comic book movie, and it's been a while." And
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah, man, like that's I mean, it's true. I think it really is like it's a crowd pleaser at the end of the day, and that's gonna make it hold." A couple of other comparisons for opening weekend. The big one people were wanting to compare it to was the Batman, of course, in 2022. That
Oh
opened to
yeah.
134 million, so a little low
Mhm.
that below that. But for Batman historically is a way bigger movie franchise than Superman. I mean, Superman's a
Absolutely.
character, and people are pointing it out. I think more that like we're the weekend after, like as the weekend progresses, not a lot of people have positive thoughts when it comes to everyone knows who Superman is. That doesn't mean everyone loves Superman. Like Superman's honestly a bit of a not a divisive character. Maybe. Well, he's become a divisive character, but he's a character where it's like such high knowledge and just like popularity, but not necessarily like beloved. Like a Batman, like a Spider-Man, even like a Deadpool, Iron Man, Wolverine. Like these are characters that cinematically people are like, oh, this has got to be good. Like, oh, I'm so excited. The Avengers is like a not playing fair, but like still, it's kind of the same idea. And it's fascinating to me. I wonder what this movie's going to do in the future. Like, I wonder what this is going to do for fans moving forward. Because I think for a lot of people, and I don't want to get too, we're saving a lot of this for Friday. I think just business wise, if I'm David Zaslav, who released a very funny congratulatory pat in the back yesterday, shout out David Zaslav.
It's a funny guy, that David
I
Zaslav.
hired James Gunn 3 years ago. Yeah, you hired him? Okay, whatever. Anyway, I hope they somehow get DC Studios away from the company. But anyway,
Let the guy have his
I
weekend,
know,
David.
I know, I know. It's
He's doing just fine.
David cubed. Um, I wonder what this movie is going to have an effect on when it comes to building out the brand of Superman going forward. Like
Yeah.
if there is a sequel eventually, I wonder how that does. A couple of other notes I wanted to make. How this would rank in terms of the MCU. Obviously, MCU movies are massive. It's right in line with Thor Ragnarok opening weekend, which I thought was a pretty interesting number. And ahead of Guardians 3, which I think for me personally, that's what I wanted to see this movie do, was to do better than James Gunn's last film, especially a beloved movie like Volume 3. DC EU wise, you mentioned Dawn of Justice. up. This is above Man of Steel by about 6 million. Of course, it's a 12-year difference, so you would hope as well. But it would be the third highest opening in the DCEU. Just opening weekend wise, even though Aquaman ended up being this massive global billion-dollar hit, its opening weekend was a little bit different around the holidays. So all in all, like it's really hard to paint a narrative that this isn't a success. One last thing, when looking into the future, what is this going to do? So back in December, I write my top 10, biggest box office potential movies ahead of the new year for the direct.
On the
And
direct.com.
on the direct.com, link in bio. On there, I put global prediction. I put $680 million total for Superman. I put $320 million domestic total. I'm feeling pretty good about it. I'm not going to lie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think it might be a little high. We'll see. I think, though, we're in the range of it'll get past, I'm confident it'll get past $500 million globally. Other than that, though, like I'm hoping it does more. I'm hoping it soars past six. I'm hoping it soars past 700. Well, we'll see. But based on some of those international numbers I was talking about earlier, the Fantastic Four is Galactus is coming for Superman as well. Um, it'll be fascinating to see. I hope it reaches that higher end of the 700 million. But I do think, just to let everyone know out there, this will not be a $1 billion movie. Like it's not. Don't think. Let's rein in our expectations just a tad. Like this is not going to be a $1 billion film. That's not what this movie even needs to be, quite frankly. But if it gets past 500, if it gets past $600 million globally, I think that's definitely a win for them. And I think in general, the domestic numbers will be more interesting to look at than total box office. But like I said, we'll see. Weekend two is going to be massive on all accounts, and beyond, and we'll see how well this thing does, legging out, even into August, because there's a chance where people. I've seen it 3 times. Like I said, it's a very rewatchable movie. I think it's a
Absolutely.
very, very rewatchable movie because of its pace, because of how short it is relative to most comic movies this year. I think it is rewatchable. The word of mouth is solid. We'll see. But excited to keep reporting on and commenting on how this thing eventually does, because it's one thing to do the victory lap on opening weekend Sunday. We kind of did. My biggest hesitation is because we kind of did this. Bob Iger did this with Thunderbolts. He was happy with the opening globally. It wasn't a huge domestic opener, but it was still solid. And then it didn't leg out at all. And that was another good movie, like a well-reviewed, positive word-of-mouth film. So it's like we're in this weird zone where I wonder if we're gonna have a repeat of that with Superman, or if it's actually gonna have a little bit more staying power.
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting to see. I'm excited to see where the legs go. And like we said, the 2 week window has always been baked into this movie. I don't think Warner Brothers is worried about that. This needed to be a critical slash fan success more than a box office success. And they've crushed that aspect of it, which is great. We will
100%
do a
is.
full deep dive on the fallout of Superman on Friday. Our final thoughts on the movie, some awards maybe to give out that I think we need to talk about. And then also what's next for the DCU, as the ball keeps rolling. We're not stopping anytime soon. So check out our feature episode on Friday for all of that. More news. Spider-Man, brand new day. The Spider-Man 4 movie starring Tom Holland, directed by Destin Daniel Cretton. We're all very excited about
Oh
it.
yeah.
Tom Holland recently had a quote while promoting his upcoming movie, The Odyssey, directed by Christopher Nolan. Tom Holland, Spider-Man, says, we were really restricted with what we could do in the last movie because of COVID, Spider-Man No Way Home. Now we're really going to lean into that old school filmmaking and shoot in real locations. We are going to use streets and Glasgow for
Hmm.
this massive set piece that we're putting together. Now, film bros, auteurs, cinephiles will tell you
Me and you.
that, yeah, sure. I would like to not associate with those words, but um, we'll tell you that Tom Holland looks like an idiot for saying being excited to shoot on real locations. Hey guys, it's a fucking Spider-Man movie. The last time they made a Spider-Man movie, there were rips in the sky in the middle of New York. Yeah, there's gonna be some CGI. Yeah, there's gonna be some green screen. And also, he makes a good point during COVID. Those things had to be ramped up. You know what I mean? We could only do so much during the I mean, hell, that movie was filmed in 2019, 2020. There's only so much they could have done.
Yeah,
Um,
the full
to make
video
it
too. Sorry, the full video of him, like the quote he was saying that they literally. I mean, we knew this, and you know they kept the secrets of that movie because of this. They filmed No Way Home entirely on sound stages. You know,
yeah.
like pretty like literally entirely. I mean, there's that. I think when he's walking to MJ's like work at the end of the movie is like the one time
Let's
there was
see.
like any set photos and that he was actually like
Mhm.
outside on location. And we already knew it was kind of interesting this timing of this quote. We knew they were gonna be filming in Glasgow soon, like on the streets, like an actual set, huge set piece apparently. So it was cool, kind of like hearing, straight from the horse's mouth. Filming, of course, starts very very soon, which is exciting to also hear a part of this news. But for me, he also mentioned in this little interview he was doing that it really hadn't, he seemed to indicate it hadn't been since Spider-Man Homecoming where he felt like they filmed a lot actually on location, and this one is doing that, which is exciting for me, man. Like I'm thrilled that we're back to getting a bit more real life, real set feel. I think John Watts the best he could when it came to those restrictions in No Way Home, and like I said, it actually helped the movie in many ways in terms of the secrecy beyond it. Um, but with this new movie, this leans into what I think we've been talking about, where we want this to be a more grounded story as well, where it's like, okay, let's do some real shit, man. Let's get Destin Aaron Creighton to do some like practical Spider-Man effects or stunts, I should say. Practical Spider-Man stunts, which we haven't, I feel like we don't get that much of. It was a huge thing in the TASM movies. You know, TASM 1 notoriously shot a lot in New York City. I think about that one scene at the very beginning, not the very beginning, but when he's first figuring out how to be Spider-Man and he's on like the bridge and he's like jumping along like he's swinging for like the first time basically. He's not in his suit and he's like jumping along the trucks and stuff, and he's like spinning. Or no, maybe he is in his suit actually.
For you,
Not that one.
for you,
Not that one. But
baby,
it
I'm number
it has
one.
more of that charm to it, you know, where it's like, okay, we gotta get Spider-Man more like what feels like in reality to a certain extent. And yeah, like at the end of the day, I'm pumped they're starting to film this movie. I really hope it makes its date. I feel like it's kind of going to. Honestly, shooting on real location kind of I feel like gives me even more of like a sense of that they will actually make the date because I don't know, maybe this is a very silly thought, but it's like it makes me think that if you're getting more of it actually on film, there's less to do in post. But maybe I'm completely off balance because there's still going to be plenty to do in post. It's a like you mentioned, it's a Spider-Man movie, and there's going to be
Right.
CGI this, and there's going to be CGI that. But hey, Matt, what people aren't talking about, which has been a big thing, I would say, in the Tom Holland iterations as compared to past iterations. Maybe some more in the suit, live action, practical suit action, which I look, set photos, not always the best thing, can be spoilers. But if I see a set photo anytime soon with him in that No Way Home final swing suit, I'm gonna lose my mind. I am so excited to see what suit they break out for this new movie, and I really hope it's that shiny blue one.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous if they didn't, right? It'd be absurd if the
Opening
suit
four
that
and a half
closed
years
last
later.
movie, yes,
I
yes,
know. I
opening
know.
4.5 years later. I mean, that was the best part of the movie. No doubt. Yeah, it's all very exciting. Destiny Creighton, shot on location a lot for Shang-Chi, not the entire movie, obviously, but
Yeah.
a lot of it was shot on location, and those cityscape scenes were really great. And I'm
Yeah.
excited to see what he does with Spider-Man. Last little bit of news. We are saying goodbye to our coverage of Fantastic Four. Obviously, it's 2 weeks away, no duh. But I personally have blocked the words on Twitter.
Nice.
I'm done. I am done looking at Fantastic Four things until the movie comes out. I did get this one last little quote from director Matt Shackman, who we're all very excited to be directing this movie. He said, David, every time Galactus appears on screen, the movie will cut to an IMAX ratio
That is
because
so cool.
the biggest thing in the universe deserves the biggest screen. I would love if they did the thing where the screen moves up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be ideal. If
Yeah.
every time Galactus comes on screen, we get the move, right?
Yeah.
Um, I love this idea. It seems so simple, like no shit, right? But
Right.
it's not a shoe-in by any means. And I just want to drop that little bit of note before we say the next time we will be talking about Fantastic Four will be next week for our box office preview. And then we'll be reviewing the most anticipated Marvel movie in the last 4 or 5 years. It's pretty crazy to think about, but we are here. And that is everything you need to know about the universes you love. Before we get out of here, David, do we have anything else we wanted to do today?
Oh yeah. We've got a game, ladies and
Got a game.
gentlemen. A few weeks ago on the Direct podcast, Matt just we just happened to do this. I would say it was kind of
It was more
just
organic.
yeah, a little more organic, but it was a lot of fun. Matt put my box office knowledge to the test, basically asking me like what was the leading global box
Yeah.
office winner of the
Yeah.
last 10 years essentially.
Yes. Yes.
This is a different game. This is a
Yeah.
game that is going to be much more up Matt's alley. I'm not going to test his box office knowledge. I'm not sure that would be totally fair, even though I think Matt would do a better job than you'd probably expect.
Yeah.
Today's game is going to be how many MCU projects has this character been in? So
Okay.
I have put together seven players, seven characters from the MCU, and it's gonna be Matt, your job to tell me not only how many, but list off the movies or TV shows that they are in. Now there is one mini caveat to this where I'd love for you to get them, but post credit scenes and stuff like that's an interesting
Yeah.
part to this. But if you can get them, that'd be awesome. I think I have
Yeah.
a healthy mix of some older, some newer, mainly older MCU characters, I would say, because the newer ones are pretty boring in that sense, because it's pretty obvious which ones they've been in.
Boring.
First one, hopefully someone we're talking about a lot more in the future. Bruce Banner.
Yeah. Bruce Banner. So two in phase one, two in phase two if we're counting post credit scenes.
Okay, you can list them off. We can
I
do
know,
this
I
however
know.
you want.
I'm getting the number for. I'm
Oh,
just
okay,
getting. I'm just,
okay.
and then one, two, three in phase three. So Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton,
Yep,
Avengers, Iron Man 3,
yep,
Avengers Age of Ultron, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame, She-Hulk.
yes. I can tell you the only things you're missing are two mid-credit scenes.
Yeah, yeah, Eternals.
Not Eternals.
No, 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 I'm sorry, Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi. Yep.
Yep.
One more.
Um,
And that's it. You've nailed everything else, man.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Bruce Banner, mid-credit scene.
I can give you a hint. This one's it's obvious what like once you hear it, you'll be like, "Oh, that makes a lot of sense." It's in between two of his appearances, I guess is the best way of saying it. Like
Yeah,
it's an in-betweener. It was a tweener.
a classic in-betweener.
Yeah. It was kind of it was connecting two big movies.
Sure,
This mid credit scene.
sure, sure.
He wasn't the only one in this mid credit scene. See, there's a few other characters in this mid credit scene.
Yeah. Can I get a face?
Yeah, phase three.
Fuck. I was afraid you were gonna say that. Okay, it's not Civil War. It's not Doctor Strange.
Nope.
It's not Black Panther.
In between two big movies.
Yeah. Oh, oh, Captain Marvel. Duh.
Yes.
Um,
Yes. Very,
duh.
very
Okay.
notable post-credit scene.
Sure, sure,
It's
sure,
got a
sure.
lot of
I
characters,
mean,
and
there 15 people in there. Yeah, yeah.
it's a scene from Infinity War.
I should have gotten in that. I should have gotten that.
Kind of cheating. No, that was great. The Iron Man 3 one, I thought that was gonna get you for Bruce
Oh,
Banner.
no
That was a
shot.
great pull.
He falls asleep.
I would have never guessed that in 100 million years. Um, okay, I'm gonna skip this one because that would be actually I don't like the order I did this in. Let's do Drax. Dave Bautista's
Drax.
Drax the Destroyer.
So three right away with all three Guardians, Infinity War, Endgame, Holiday Special.
Yes.
What
Yeah.
if we're counting it? But that's it. End of list.
One more.
Shit. Okay. One
No, no, no.
second.
It. Yeah. Well, I won't even say anything because you've got this. Like
Infinity
you
War,
named.
Endgame. Oh, Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yes.
Um, cool. Yeah.
All right. Let's do a throwback. Phil Coulson,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cool, cool.
MCU
Listen.
OGer,
Yeah, definitely.
Mr. Phase One.
Iron Man, not in Incredible Hulk. Iron Man 2 in Thor, not in Captain America, in Avengers. So that's 4 out of 5.
Yes.
Um, Captain Marvel,
Yes.
5.
Yeah. Yeah. And then Agents of
Yeah.
Shield. Yeah.
Yeah. Oop,
Which like you guys can debate if that's MCU canon or not.
never heard of
Okay. Couple more here.
It's
Captain
fun.
Marvel. Yeah, this is fun.
Captain Marvel. Um, not Infinity War technically.
No, she's not listed in Infinity War. Yeah, correct. Yeah, that's a good point.
So
Her beacon is in Infinity War.
yeah, Captain Marvel, Infinity War, Miss Marvel, the Marvels.
Well, she's not in
Uh,
Infinity War.
I'm sorry, Endgame. I
Yeah,
meant
exactly. Okay.
Captain Marvel, Endgame, Miss Marvel, the Marvels, Shang-Chi.
That's it.
End of
I
list.
won't
Yeah.
let you keep thinking.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Good call. I think I'm curious what listeners think too. Like I think I would have messed up with Miss Marvel. I would have forgotten
Hmm.
about that because also same
Post-credit
idea.
scene.
I know, but it's
It's a
like
scene
it's a
from.
scene from the movie. Like
Yeah.
they're double dipping. Kevin Feige's double dipping.
Out here.
Okay,
Saving money.
three more. This is a good one. I'm
I'm
excited about this
excited.
one. Howard the Duck.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Howard the Duck. Guardians 1.
Yep, first appearance.
Guardians 2. Post-credit scene.
That's right.
So it separates the man from the boys, you know? Endgame,
Yes, Endgame.
he's got a gun.
Yep,
He's got a little
rolling out,
he's got a
walking
little
out of a little
gun.
portal, ready to rock, ready to f shit up.
Um, is there one more?
There's technically two more if you
Okay, so
count.
what if
Yeah, that was the other one. What
I mean
if?
they got a whole episode of what if with Howard the
Yeah,
Duck.
and what if I
Um,
count is a loose count to me.
yeah. And then I guess Guardians 3.
Yeah, I didn't know about Guardians 3 until I saw this
I didn't know
list. I
either.
don't remember. He is in each Guardians movie though, and I don't even know when he pops up in Guardians 3. I don't remember that scene.
Couldn't tell
Um,
you. Oh, he's probably on
is he?
nowhere.
No, no, no.
He,
When's the one where he's like playing cards? Is that Guardians 3? What was
playing
Guardians 2?
cards. No, I think Guardians 3 is him playing cards. He's on nowhere.
With
The new
with
Guardians headquarters.
with Kraglin, right?
I think so.
It's that scene, yeah. Okay. But yeah, it's
Seth Green.
Seth Green, that's right. The director Russ Melhine interviewed him recently and asked him about Howard the Duck. He does not think he's going to be
Beautiful.
coming back anytime soon because James Gunn's
Beautiful.
gone. Um,
Yeah. You'll have
maybe
that.
he'll appear in the DCU. We'll see. Not Howard the
I've been
Duck,
watching
but
a lot of Family Guy lately, and that's Seth Green.
right. All right, I have two more. These are MCU classics, the direct podcast, classic characters.
Okay.
I think you're gonna nail them both. First one is Steve Rogers.
Steve Rogers. Wow. Okay. 1, 2 in phase one. First Avenger in Avengers.
Yes.
Thor Dark World. Age of Ultron. So that's four.
What's really funny is you're correct about Thor Dark World. This list doesn't say that. That was an amazing pull
Sure.
because it wasn't Steve Rogers. That's
No, it was
so
Loki.
funny. But it is
Um,
I that is a
yeah,
great pull
that
and
counts.
I definitely count that. Yeah.
Winter Soldier. So five heading into phase three.
Yes.
Civil War, obviously. Homecoming. Not
Ooh,
Black Panther.
I just realized there's one that's going to be interesting if you get.
Not Black Panther.
No. I will say out
Infinity War Endgame. Just get those out there.
yep. Yep. You've well at this point you've now skipped a couple.
Sure.
Um I'll give you one that's a hint. Unless you want to keep thinking.
Um, Let me think for a second.
I was gonna give you a phase for one.
Yeah, give me a phase.
There's another one in phase two. That's what I was gonna say.
Interesting. Interesting. Phase two. Is that not
Yeah.
Iron Man 3? It's not Iron Man 3. Thor Dark World, no. Not Ant-Man. Oh, yes, see, it's post-credit scene. It's the
Yeah.
fucking scene in a movie. Yeah,
Those
Ant-Man.
yeah. Yep. Yep.
Damn it.
Civil War. Yeah. That
Yeah,
another that those are those
yeah, it's the
to
exact
me
same
would be the
thing.
hardest ones.
And
The post
then
credit scenes that are scenes in other movies.
uh so I'm missing one.
You said
Captain Marvel, post-credit scene.
yes.
Yeah.
And then there's a one more, which I don't believe you named. This is phase three, and it counts, but it's not. It's a unorthodox appearance.
Is it Homecoming? I said Homecoming.
Oh, you did say Homecoming. Oh,
Oh, yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
sorry.
All good.
An Age of Ultron, obviously. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
Great pull with
It's a good
Homecoming.
one. Sure, sure, sure.
Yeah, that is a good
Not in
one.
Falcon Winter Soldier, historically.
That's true. Yeah, he has. Steve Rogers has zero appearances. You know, obviously, even
Post
in like
Endgame.
post Endgame, no TV, no nothing. All right.
Probably the most mentions. We ran those numbers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. It's a whole show of talking about Steve giving
Mm-hmm.
him the shield. Um, and he's mentioned in Captain America
A lot of
4.
things.
He's mentioned
A lot of
in
things.
Thunderbolts, I want to say. Um,
Yeah.
yeah.
Ant-Man.
Yeah. All right. Last one. You knew it was coming. Wanda Maximoff.
Banda.
Can't wait to see this
Age of
100%er.
Ultron, Civil War, Infinity War, Endgame, WandaVision, Multiverse of Madness. End of list.
You're missing one.
Okay. Um,
Honestly, if I give you a hint for this one, you'll get it instantaneously.
sure. Don't give me a hint. It's fine. Said Multiverse of Madness.
Yes. 9 episodes of WandaVision. All nine. Yeah, out
Not
there.
Agatha.
No, not Agatha. We don't know when she's going to appear next. We have no information on that,
All right, what
fortunately.
face? What face am I missing? Oh,
Phase,
oh, oh, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier, Winter Soldier.
yes. Her first appearance in the
Age of
MCU.
Miracles. Best post-credit
Yes.
scene in MCU history.
That's
Yes,
right.
man.
That's right. Yep. That I'm telling you,
Yeah,
man, the very impressive. Honestly, the one I'm most impressed by that you got like instantaneously was Iron Man 3 for Bruce Banner.
sure,
I
sure.
would have legit never thought of that. Like when I was seeing even looking at when I was looking doing the research, I'm like, what was that scene? And then I clicked the link and I'm like, oh, right. Like he's like on the
Especially with how much I historically don't like that movie.
yeah, right. We just had this conversation, which is so, and it's such like a silly like throwaway the therapy thing.
It's a
Um,
nothing. Yeah, it's a dude. Shane Black directed that movie, man. That's crazy.
I know. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was our latest
Bam,
game.
bam, bam.
By the way, if you're a Patreon member, let us know what other games you want us to see us
Yeah,
play.
we
That's
got
a
games.
great spot if you're on our Patreon. If you're not on a Patreon, please join for you can join for just $1, be a part of the community, be a part of the team. Even more, beyond just being a listener. Matt, that was a lot of fun. We'll have to play another game sometime soon.
Yeah, it was a good time. I had a blast. David, thank you so much for putting that together. For everybody listening, thank you so much for following along. Be a friend, tell a friend. Thank you also to our direct podcast Patreon executive producers, Richard Nebbins, Nesto, Joey Bags, and Mike Stefanelli. We thank you guys so much. And for everybody else listening, be a friend, tell a friend, share it, leave a review, please, during this growing period. We're very excited to keep things going. For David, I'm Matt. Until then, see you next time.